Hi, I'm Brigham Larson with Brigham Larson Pianos, and this is kind of a special, interesting little piano in a number of ways. The most special of which I'll tell you about in a second, but in other ways that it's special is it's a Baldwin Acrosonic, which of all of the little pianos, the spinets, the Acrosonic is far and away my favorite, and I've heard that from so many piano technicians, other fellow colleagues of mine, that it's pretty much a universal, that Baldwin Acrosonic far and away outbuilt every other little piano maker, and it's consistent. The Acrosonic that they manufactured, Baldwin manufactured it from, I want to say, I'm not sure, I want to say the 30s until something like the 70s or 80s, kind of in there. This one's a 1948. So kind of right in the middle there. But the reason that I love Acrosonic so much is because the tone is so rich. It's touch and tone. That's what always it comes down to. The tone is so rich. It sounds like a much, much bigger piano, and it's every Acrosonic virtually that you'll play. Every once in a while I'll come across kind of a lemon Acrosonic, but it's fairly uncommon. It just has this big, rich tone that you do not hear on small pianos anywhere else. And then also the touch. A lot of times you have problems with what's called the drop action. So in order to fit the action into this small cabinet, rather than having, here, look, come over here, I'll show you. This is a normal action where you have the back of the key that's like a teeter-totter. You push the front of the key, you push the front of the key, and the back of the key comes up, actuating the note like that, and so it's pushing up on the mechanism, on the action. Whereas in a spinet like this, you have what's called a drop action, so you still have the key that's a teeter-totter that you push up, and the back of it comes up. But rather than pushing up on the mechanism, it has a part that comes down, and it pulls it up, and that's called a drop action. So that there are inherent problems to drop action pianos, namely, if maybe it's a bit technical, but you essentially have to build in lots of lost motion in order to ensure that the key will repeat. That's not on all drop actions, but that's very, very common, that it will not function without lost motion. And lost motion, like it sounds, is essentially wasted motion that you put into the key. Whereas on Acrosonics, that's not the case. Somehow they figured it out with the geometry and the weighting that you don't have that. You aren't forced to build in lost motion, causing kind of a mushy touch. You don't have that on Acrosonics. So like I said, it's touch and tone. Okay, and here's the main reason that I was referring to a few minutes ago, that this piano is kind of a special instrument. We got a call from the makers of the current Little Women movie, which I'm not a Little Women fan, but I'm sure I could be. Maybe I'll see the movie and recognize the piano, and that'll convert me to being a Little Women fan. Anyway, so there's a new production of Little Women coming out relatively soon, and this piano was, I guess in the story, those of you that know the story, I guess the spinet was a key. Am I right, Stacy? Do you know? It was a gift. It was a gift?
Yeah.
Okay, from Mr. Darcy or something, or is that a different book? I think that's, not Edith Wharton, but Jane Austen.
Yeah,
Mr.
so
Darcy.
it's in the movie twice.
It's in the movie twice,
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And it was a spinet, right? Okay. So this specific piano is the one that they used in the production of the film. So people that we've told that to, that are Little Women fans, thought that was really cool. Okay, so what we've done to this piano, we've done the works. I mean, it's a 1948, but it may as well be, I mean, like it's brand new. Everything the piano needs from the exterior. We've redone the keys, we've refinished it. It looks beautiful. I hope you can see it in the video. But it's a gorgeous piano. And then We take everything apart. We take all of the keys out, take the action out, take the track work off the bottom, and everything is thoroughly cleaned. This is not a quick project, a quick blowing out with compressed air or something like that. This is a full day project of cleaning, sometimes even a day and a half, even 2 days on occasion. I think this piano, the cleaning was more like 1 day. The 2-day projects are more like the 1890s pianos. Then, on the action, the hammers are reshaped to get rid of the grooves. The hammer butts, which is what carries the hammer, there's a pin that goes through. We repin them so they're not floppy and sloppy and loose, but they're back to just going straight back and forth and nice and tight, just the right amount of friction. We tighten everything, lubricate the action, which no piano ever sees that except when we do it. Whenever pianos get any kind of maintenance, it's just tuning and that's it. Then, and there's lots more, we align the hammers so that they're hitting dead center on the strings. We level the keys. We change what's called the key dip, which is the distance that you can depress the keys, so it's just the right amount of distance, not too deep, not too shallow. We rebuild the track work, polish up the pedals, put on new felts in places like this and inside the piano. Then we regulate the whole instrument. So regulation is a process where we ensure that, for example, the distance from the hammer to the string, when the hammer's at rest, that's just the right distance. Not too far, not too close, to give exactly the right touch. We regulate what's called the let-off. Actually, why don't I open that up and get a shot of the inside. You can see those nice rounded hammers that are not worn and grooved. Let-off is what's happening right there. So that hammer, you can see it gets to within 1/8 of an inch of the string and it pulls away, and you can do that for all of the notes. They get to 1/8 of an inch and pull away. And that's a good quick way that you can really test on any piano. I would assume if you're watching this video, you're in the market for a piano, and that's a good quick way. There's many, many, many more specs that have to be met, but that's an easy one for anyone to test. Just pull that hammer right up to the string as softly as you can so it doesn't play, see where it pulls away, and if that dimension is 1/8 of an inch, then it's clear all the way across from note 0 or A0, which is the lowest note, all the way to C8, which is note 88, then your let-off is correct. But then there's let-off, there's checking, there's damper timing, there's spoon timing, which has to do with the dampers. All of these things in conjunction give you the right touch, which enable you to play with the right nuance. And all of that is done, like I said, I don't make that claim lightly that this piano is like a brand new piano, in spite of its being from 1948. That I make that claim very, very seriously. So let's hear it. Pretty awesome piano. Excited about this one. I think the family that ends up with this piano is going to be a lucky family indeed. Come check it out for yourself. You can call the store at 801-701-0113 or just try it out at 1497 South State Street in Orem. Thanks for watching.